Welcome to the July edition of the Burton Property Market Update,
covering postcodes DE11, 13, 14 and 15.
I'm Andrew Sharp, the Sales and Lettings Director here at Shaw Sales and Lettings.
And I'm Lauren Goodger and I'm the Sales Valuer.
And in this month's edition of the update, we are taking a look at transaction levels, demand from buyers and tenants, and we're also taking a look at the impact of the summer months and what's happening in legislation.
Later on in the video, we'll take a look at the postcodes in the areas that we cover here, and also taking a look at the prime market with the properties over 500,000.
So taking a look at the area as a whole, we currently have 1,666 properties on the market, of which 60% are sold subject to contract. This is a 7% drop from the previous month in June. The average price at the moment is 267,000.
In the last 28 days, we've seen 204 new properties come to market, 70 properties go under offer and 15 properties be reduced.
We're also now seeing an average time of 23 days from on market to under offer. So taking a look at the impacts of the economy on the housing market, the Bank of England has raised the base rate of interest to 1.75%. This is the sixth consecutive rise, as it's warned of inflation will hit a 13% in October. Between March and May, pay in the private sector was 7.2% higher year on year. For the public sector, the rise was just 1.5%. However, adjusting for inflation, regular pay fell by 2.8%. Job vacancies currently remain high. So taking a look at the level of transactions, HMRC reported 95,420 sales were completed in June. This is the first time monthly sales volumes have dipped beneath 100,000 in 2022. Volumes are over 50% lower than they were in 2021. At the time then, obviously this was fueled by the stamp duty holiday. Over 340,000 property sales were agreed in the first quarter of 2022, according to new data released by 20CI. Volumes are still on track for 1.2 million transactions over the course of 2022. Properties are still currently selling 20 days quicker than the long-term average, according to Rightmove, with a significant proportion selling above initial asking price.
So we've seen a change in the demand for property, both locally and also across the UK. Mortgage approvals in June fell to their lowest level since the COVID-19 market shutdown in the spring of 2020. The amount of mortgages that were approved were just over 63,000, and this was 4% lower than the pre-pandemic June average. A net balance of agents reported a fall in new buyer enquiries across many regions in the UK in the month of June. While demand levels for property still remain higher than that of last year, buyer demand per property available has fallen 8% compared to May, according to Rightmove. However, they do assert that more than 500,000 homes are currently sold subject to contract, and this is 44% higher than that in 2019.
So taking a look at the investment and lettings market, the average rents across Great Britain rose by 3% in the year to May. This is the highest rate of annual growth since records began in 2012. Rightmove have revised their rental price forecast upwards. The average rents are likely to rise 8% over 2022, up from the previous forecast of 5%. Asking rents increased by 3.5% in Q2 as demand continues to outstrip supply. The common tenancy length is now over 2 years, with 18% of landlords saying the average length of tenancy has increased over the past year, according to new search from Rightmove. Many renters are choosing to stay put to avoid facing significant rises when moving. As investors and landlords, we are also starting to see a slight shift with news of a potential recession coming through. So taking a look at the individual postcodes, we take a look at DE11 to start with. There are currently 556 properties on the market, of which 63% are sold subject to contract. The average price is 243,000, and in the last 28 days we have seen 72 new properties come to market, 17 properties go under offer, and an increase of 7 properties reducing in price. The average time to sell a property is 22 days.
Taking a look at the DE13 postcode, there are currently 491 properties for sale and sold, with 54% being sold subject to contract. There's an average asking price of 347,000. In the last 28 days, we've seen 62 new properties come to market, 17 properties go under offer, and just 4 properties be reduced in price. The average time from for sale to sold in DE13 is 29 days.
Looking at the DE14 postcode, there are currently 358 properties on the market, of which 62% are currently sold subject to contract. The average price at the moment is $192,000, and in the last 28 days we have seen 50 properties come to market and just 12 properties going under offer. The average time to sell a property in DE14 is 18 days.
Currently in the DE15 postcode there are 242 properties on the market and 57% are sold subject to contract. There's an average asking price of $287,000. In the last 28 days we've seen 35 new properties come to market, 8 properties go under offer and 3 properties reduced in price. The average time from for sale to sold in DE15 is 25 days.
Taking a look at the prime market of properties over 500,000, there are currently 120 properties on the market, of which 42% are sold subject to contract. The average price at the moment is $662,000, and in the last 28 days we have seen 20 new properties come to market, 6 properties go under offer, and 1 property over 500,000 reduce in price. The average time to sell a property in the prime market is 23 days.
Thank you for watching July's edition of our monthly property market update. We hope you found it useful.
If you'd like to chat to either myself or Lauren about what's going on in the rental or sales market, get in touch on any of the following details.